Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for your gaming news, guides, walkthroughs, and reviews, like their featured Snack Chat, breaking down their writers' dream video game crossovers. And don't forget to check out their brand new Shack News Reader. The Reader will allow you to create a personalized feed of all your favorite YouTube channels, websites, and subreddits. All this pairs perfectly with their Shack News Cortex, where you can post your own articles and get involved in the gaming community right on their site. From video game tournaments to Twitch streams, they do it all at Shack News. And speaking of Twitch streams, be sure to subscribe to their channel on Twitch to see the newest games as well as some great throwbacks. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @Shack News and at ShackNews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He gets outside. What's he doing? And touchdown. Away. Back to goal.
Reflux. It's just going for backwards. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, March 1st, 2021. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside the coach, Mr. Chris McNeil. How are you doing, sir?
Dave, I got something for you here.
What's that?
Taken by Iguodala.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
LeBron James with the rejection. Oh, my goodness.
Happy 3-1 day, right?
Absolutely. What a glorious day.
Oh, man. It's always good to relive that. I was watching the highlights all day long as people were sharing them. Back 2016, this Cleveland Cavaliers team that comes back from down 3-1 to Golden State and ends up taking the title. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
One of the greatest videos of all time, the one you tweeted.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I had so many people, Dave, sending me back tweets. They're like, every time I see that, I cry.
Yeah.
Every single time. And
I
it's
love
amazing.
There
just
was
the emotion.
there was a few people this morning that are like, Chris, are you going to post it? When are you going to post it? Like, people. Everyone's
Well,
waiting
March
for
kinda sneaks
reflog.
up on you. I mean, February's so damn short. It just kind of all of a sudden it's like, oh, March is here. Oh, wait, 3-1. Oh, yeah.
That's right. And we got Nick Padone back in the house. What is going on, Nick?
What is up, guys? I'm happy to report that we no longer ever have to care about what JJ Watt or KJ Watt's Peloton bio says in the history of ever.
It
We
gave
don't
us
have
something to
to,
do
but we
today.
may still.
We may still, but I'm not going to.
Weird day. But
It's been a
happy
weird few
3-1.
weeks.
It has, man. Yeah, we got baseball back. That'll help a little bit. A little bit.
And the Cavs back on track. So
There we go.
everything's coming up roses these days, Dave.
That's right, and we will talk about all of that because tonight on the show, we're kicking it off with Power Rank Monday. We're going baseball. Our favorite all-time relief pitchers. This one was kind of difficult. Me and Chris were just talking about this. There's not many recognizable names pre 95, but we will get into those. Then we're going to talk Cleveland baseball with Indians reliever Nick Wittgren joining the show, pitching today, joining us live here in just a few minutes. Had a heck of an outing for one inning today in spring ball. Then we'll get into Cleveland headlines brought to you by TSE Cleveland, giving away Joe Thomas signed jersey tonight. So follow
That's a
them.
good item right there.
That is. Follow them on Twitter and the show to be eligible for that going forward. Cavs, they're back. they're looking okay. Not that far out of the playoffs. So we'll debate what they should do. No J.J. Watt for the Browns. We'll look at some free agents there. And then we'll wrap up with the best and worst tweets of the week. But let's kick things off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
Kev's always in the comments. He goes, what does the 12 mean in Padone's Twitter handle? Was he born in 2012?
Ha ha ha. No, I'm not 9 years old.
Oh, good stuff. All right, Power Rank Monday.
No, he's not 9
What?
years old. I did notice something about Padone today. I don't know
What's
if anybody
that? What
else
is that?
watching has noticed this.
Interesting. Wearing his hat backwards. What happened to Carson Wentz's season when he went to the podium with his hat on backward?
Yeah, Nick, think about that.
All right. Yeah, I'll get back to good old Uncle Colin on that one. The hair was too long. The hair is too long. Needs cut. Had to go with the hat tonight.
There you
Looks
go.
weird forward. Looks like I'm getting ready to go to a baseball game. So
You got the Block
Here we
C. You got the Block C. You're ready to roll. All right, Power Rank Monday. Our favorite all-time relief pitchers. I didn't go closers on here, just strict relief pitchers. I will kick it off with my number 3. And I'm going with a current Cleveland Indian who might become a closer. James Karinchak making the list. The heater and the high curve, biting his mitt, talking to himself. Dude's hilarious on the mound. And
Friend of show.
Friend of show. I think he is going to have a heck of a year. My number 2. Taking us back, Chris, Paul Osemacher.
Oh, that's a classic pull. I've got him on my list too. That is fantastic. Paul Osemacher brings me back those fabulous 90s teams. And he looks like you or I, right? That's what I think is great about a relief pitcher is when he looks like the fans in the stands, like a guy just picked up the ball, was sitting out there in the bleachers and is strolling out to the mound. And that's what Osemacher looked like. So that's a fantastic choice.
He looks like someone who was on my dad's old man softball league.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And my number 1, it wasn't for too long, but he was the most electric guy in baseball. Andrew Miller, when he joined the Indians, when we got him, I remember watching, and you're like, you expected him to strike out the side. Like if anyone got wood on the ball, you were surprised. It just incredible guy to watch. I don't even know, Nick, where is he now?
He was with the Cardinals.
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
that was the last stop I was aware of.
Yeah, so yeah, we had quite a couple good years with that dude. So number 1, Andrew Miller. What do you got for us, Chris?
So my number 3, also Paul Osemacher. And one of the great things
Yeah.
about Osemacher too is I guess he was legendary around the bullpen for just making up stories or lying. So he was one of those typical, like, he's like your uncle, right? Just lying about fish that he's caught. Like it starts off, the story was here, and by the end of the season, it was here. And that's the way everybody said that Osemacher would just make up these tales, and people would just, because it was Paul Osemacher, everybody was like, okay, all right, he tells a good story. And when you're out in the bullpen, you got to listen to stories all day. You got to kind of pass the time. And Osemacher, I guess, was a great one to be sitting next to because he'd tell you all kinds of BS stories.
That's great.
My number 2, Vinny Pastano. Do you remember him?
Bullpen Mafia.
Brought in the bullpen mafia. That's right. That's when they really had some swagger out there in the bullpen. I know another big part of that was the bullpen backpack, where they had like a Hello Kitty backpack for the bullpen mafia. And I thought that was fantastic. And that thing, would have all their snacks and stuff that they would bring out there every time. So they just had a lot of character with that bullpen. And I thought Vinny Pastano really kind of led them.
Yeah,
my number 1.
That team chemistry was 100%.
Yeah. My number 1, I'm going with that theme of a guy who could be out in the bleachers and then walking to the mound come the 7th inning. And that's Bob Wickman. I mean, he looked like us from head to toe. In fact, a lot of us are even maybe in better shape than he was. But man, he get out
Probably.
there and he could just mow people down, and he just looked like he was chucking the ball like at a softball tournament. You know, he didn't seem to take much time out there at the mound, and he would just mow these guys down. It was just great. I love those kind of players, and he was just a king out there as a relief pitcher for the Indians.
Chris, you remember John Kruk?
Oh yeah, there's another one.
Do you remember the John Kruk quote? He was like, someone's talking about like how he's an athlete. He's like, I'm not an athlete. I'm a baseball player.
Yeah, he's the one. That's in an All-Star game. He went
Randy
up to the
Johnson
against Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson like threw behind him, and then he put his batting helmet on backwards. It's like just such a great moment of those two.
I remember watching that on a tube TV.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Nick, what do you got for us? Top 3.
Yeah. So I think I would have had an easier time putting together my least 3 favorite, but we'll start with my number 3.
Eric Plonk. Number 3.
Eric Kerplunk.
Ding.
All right, number 3, we are going with any utility player, any position player that takes it upon himself to get on the mound and blow out game, usually sometimes in a doubleheader when you're in the midst of, 5 or 6 games together, several series, several cities. That's just the dream in sports, is when you have a position player out there throwing it 60 miles an hour. Yeah. It's even funnier when they strike somebody out because they can't, adjust their bat speed to the slow pitches.
It's like rookie of the year.
We've gotten it in the years past. Friend of show Mike Freeman got in a few years back.
Oh yeah,
position player pitching, awesome stuff. Whenever that happens,
Ryan Rayburn, David Murphy.
Yeah,
good times, man.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Good times.
It didn't used to happen back in the day. That used to be a real anomaly. And now with the way that people handle pitchers, these managers handle pitchers, it happens more often where it's just you give up on a game and you don't want to wear out your bullpen. You don't want to extend any starters. So you just go to a position player. And by the way, I'm all here for it.
To me, like that's cooler than like fake punts, I think. Like I think I would rather see that than have a fake punt.
Oh, it's so
Jamie
fun
Gillen,
to watch.
though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
If Jamie Gillen's running the fake punt, I want to see that.
He's 0 for 1, Chris.
Oh, all right, move on.
All right, number 2.
Did you see his skiing, by the way?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Jamie
In shorts.
Gillen skiing. Yeah, in shorts. Just fantastic stuff. His off-season social media is just unparalleled.
It's the best.
All right, my number 2.
Ding.
Sweet. I'm going with current Indians players as well. I had to throw James Karinchak on there just because he's young, he's promising. I think in a few years, we could have this same conversation and look back at him at one of the all-time greats. He's one of the players that the Dolans and the organization should like. He has a lot of club control underneath him. The character of Wild Thing is something that the fans could definitely get behind, and I'm hoping that we have Karinchak here in Cleveland for a while.
Love it.
And my number 1, I had to go with Andrew Miller. That 2016 was such a run, that run was so fun. You could go to the games and when they would do the player announcements before the games and for the national anthem, and you're seeing Lindor and Jose and Brantley, just stand next to each other while the anthem plays. Santana, Robbie P. It's like, man, this team is going to go to the World Series. You look at the arms that we had starting in the bullpen, and they did. Nobody really thought they were going to. Just such an awesome run to be an Indians fan. And Andrew Miller was a big part of that.
Yes, he was. And we're going to bring on another Indians reliever. Nick Wittgren joining the show here. We will be back with him to talk some Tribe baseball here in about 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. We've got Indians reliever entering his third season with our Cleveland Indians. Baseball is back. Welcome to the show, Mr. Nick Wittgren. How are you, sir?
How are we doing? I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Baseball's back. We saw you out on the mound today. How does it feel to be back playing some baseball?
Really good. I'll tell you what, looking up in the stands and seeing some people feels even better.
Yeah, right?
Finally.
Yeah, man. So I love your Instagram because you're always posting pics with your kiddo. I've got a bunch of little kiddos here. How has this year been for you? It's just been so weird, like from baseball perspective, just at home. How you doing?
I mean, baseball life is basically tackling one object thrown at you and then tackling the very next. So it's, because when you first get called up, like in 2016, I was up for 7-8 days, sent right back down for 2 weeks, up for 7-8 days, sent right back down. So it's always like a little mixed shuffle. So that's kind of, how it is with the little one too. He always throws some nice surprises at you.
I love it. So, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, but this year you're on pace to strike out at least one batter per inning, ERA of 0, no hits all year long. Is that correct?
I mean, on pace for it, but spring doesn't really count.
Oh, that's hilarious. How'd it feel to get out there, though?
It was good. It was nice to get back out on the mound, just, actual uniform, not facing our guys, facing someone else. The first one's always just get out there, get comfortable. Same with the second one, basically. And then you start grinding in and working on a lot of stuff. But, yeah, it's nice finally on the mound and facing hitters I don't see every day.
How many fans were there? Do you know? Enough to notice?
Enough to notice. It was like my Purdue baseball games. We have enough seating at our old facility. I will say the new one is absolutely amazing, but the old one only had one bleacher section and had maybe 8 people in it.
So a little different than the cardboard cutouts.
A little bit.
So Nick, we were just discussing some of our favorite relievers all time. Who are some of the guys who you kind of looked up to coming up and who you maybe modeled your game after as you were, a young pitcher and a young guy kind of learning the trade?
Modeling coming up, really, really no one. I just kind of stuck to who I am because if I tried to be anyone else or like looked up to them in my eyes, I was going to try to do what they did. And, I whoever it was or would have been, I probably couldn't have done that. I'm your regular 4-seam changeup slider guy, all just locating them and stuff. But when I first got up, Mike Dunn, Dustin McGowan, AJ Ramos, David Phelps, those guys, and like Edwin Jackson too, were just huge because it made me feel comfortable up there, went up and just kind of showed me the ropes, gave me a good lay around during my first season up in the big leagues. So I got to give a lot of credit to those guys kind of pushing me on the right track.
So we got some new faces around there in the clubhouse. Is there anybody in particular who's tough for you to get out?
Are
you showing your hand a little bit too much?
I mean, are you setting this question up because we signed Rosario, Eddie? He's actually my
or
locker
it could be
mate
for
too.
the older guys who are already on the roster. I'll leave it up to you, Nick.
No. Eddie's my locker mate. We actually played in the fall league back in 2013 together, so I already knew him. And we already talked about the 2 pitches that he said both of them were just first pitches inside that he was looking for. So, but it's nice seeing everyone. It's nice seeing all the new guys, all the young guys and stuff. It's just good to be back, man.
Yeah. Speaking of being back, it's nice to see Tito kind of back with the team. What are your thoughts? How's he looking? How are things progressing there with Tito back at the helm?
Looking good. I mean, it's always nice to have him back around and everything. I can tell you we missed it just as much as he did. That's for sure. But it's going well. Things are grooving, moving right along.
What is it about Tito and kind of his style that seems to appeal to the players so well?
I mean, I think he's relaxed. He lets us, kind of play and go out there and be who we are. As long as we give the effort and energy that, every single game deserves, then it's kind of a mutual respect deal right there. But he's awesome. I remember in 19, we kind of got into a funk, and I was thinking we were going to get a tongue lashing or something. And really, he just came in, nice, calm, cool, collective, talked to us, said, hey guys, it happens, but guess what? We got another 80 more down the road. So let's flip it. And next thing we know, I think we won like 12 out of 13 or something. So it's just keeping it really calm, relaxed, not really pushing the panic button, that sort of stuff that helps you out.
Definitely, you're flexing on us here, Nick, on this video podcast. Got a little tan going. We're all stuck here in Cleveland. What's the weather like in Arizona out there for you guys?
It's nice. Actually, this morning was like 39 degrees when I got up. But as soon as that sun comes up, I think it gets in the 60s, mid 60s every day, maybe a little 70.
Yeah.
I also live in Florida, so the little tan and this lighting that they have in the hotel is helping.
It was like 39 here all day, so thanks for that, man.
You guys got hit. You guys got hit with monstrous storms, huh?
Yeah, a lot of sledding.
Yeah, it's definitely been a weird, trying winter, but we think we're on the back nine of it now for sure.
I mean, I hope so, because we're coming up to Detroit to start the year April 1st. So,
yeah, whoever makes those schedules, I would like to attend that open bar.
It's going to snow on opening day or sleet or do something. It's always horrible weather for the opener.
Yeah, I mean, something's probably going to happen, but I don't know. Hopefully we play through it.
Definitely. That's what everybody wants to see. I wanted to circle back to, what you were talking about with Eddie Rosario, just being in Cleveland. What's that vibe like for the locker room when the team is able to bring in a guy that has caused just so much torment and nightmares, it seems, to this franchise? Like, even dating back to before you got here, he just tore us up, and now he's a member of your team. How cool is that for you guys?
I mean, it's really nice because, we know firsthand exactly what he's capable of. So now we just get the pleasure of seeing him do it to someone else. So, but yeah, the feel is good. All these guys here and stuff, it's a really good group. So everyone gets along, everyone vibes well.
Give us a little intel. Give us a little insight. Who's like a under the radar guy? It could be with you, in the pitching staff. It could be one of the younger hitters. Who's something that Tribe fans aren't really talking about or knowing about that could surprise some people that you've seen?
Or
are there several? You could name several.
There's a lot. All of our young guys that I've kind of only seen snippets of here and there because, with COVID and stuff, we're in different pods and all that and everything. But yeah, honestly watching, I saw this kid throw once, and it was during summer camp. He was at the alternate site. Nick Sandlin came over, and watching him just literally run through our hitters left and right was just something mad impressive. But yeah, really, I mean, everyone's kind of crazy, but Sandlin, watching him throw, I was like, dang, like, whew, that's nice.
What's it been like too with Emmanuel Clase? I mean, I know that guy. We know that guy could get it up to almost triple digits at times. I saw some tweets about him today. What's that been like for you?
It's been good. Last year, I think I got interviewed right after we threw our first bullpen, and I said this, that I would never really want to throw next to him in a bullpen again because I'm all touch and feel and he's nice and easy at 96. Sure enough, like my second bullpen, I'm throwing right next to him again, and I throw one, I look back, hey, what was that? 89. Okay, cool, nice. I'm just nice and easy. Clase throws when I turn, I'm like, what was that? I turn and go 96. I'm like, he goes, suave, papi. I'm just easy. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Yeah, he's got an arm. I'll tell you that.
And he's young too.
Yeah. He'll be around for a bit.
Good to hear.
So I'm digging up one of your old tweets here, Nick.
Oh, goodness.
It's 3-1 day, first of all, in
Yes.
Cleveland, obviously, where the Cavs came back in 2016, beat up on Golden State. So it's always kind of a happy-go-lucky day. And you responded a couple of years ago to a tweet from Draymond Green. He was talking about how he got basically a fine for getting hit in the tooth. And he said, that's an expensive tooth. Now, your response to that was, you should have just rocked the messed up tooth, heard the looks coming around. Tell us about that. Tell us about how you're rocking that look and how you're bringing pride to that particular look with your chiclets.
Heck yeah.
Hey, since we brought this up, I thought Aaron Judge and I had something going on with the teeth and everything. And he goes and gets them fixed and leaves me in the dust, doesn't tell me about it, But, it happened back in 8th grade. I got my tooth pushed up with a face mask, tackling someone in football. Next thing I know, it's jammed up. It's fused in my bone up here. So when all my other teeth grew down, that one, didn't. So it's still there. It just, decided not to grow down and stuff. So my wife doesn't care about it. I really, as you can tell, I don't care about it as much.
No, it's a sense of pride. You got a good story.
Yeah, it's badass.
And it's a football story. Those are kind of the best kind.
Yeah. I've been told I need to make up something better than just tackling someone and getting hit in a face mask, like a shark or, I live in Florida now. Make up a shark story.
You got to give him like the traditional, like, oh, you should have seen the other kid that I tackled.
Yeah, except for the other kid knocked me flat over.
You can leave that part out. You can leave that part out.
Story. You got to make it sound like you were the aggressor in this one.
Yeah, I don't think that. No, that's not me. I think I got up and apologized to the kid.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. So obviously everyone in Cleveland has been, super bummed Lindor's gone, Mr. Smile. Who in that locker room do you think can bring that jovial attitude, the smiles? Is there one person in particular that's super optimistic within this group that you think can kind of fill that void, if you will?
I kind of feel like it's a team, just our team. I mean, our team's a happy-go-lucky team. Everyone's always, positive energy, positive vibes. That's kind of how we feel in the locker room and stuff. So even with Frankie, leaving and stuff and having that upbeat tempo and everything, I feel like, the majority of us bring that anyways, and we come in with a positive outlook on the day and, just try to make it as light as possible in the clubhouse before a game, so then there's not so much tension and stuff going on. But yeah, we're definitely gonna miss Frankie and Cookie, miss them both. But it's the nature of the business and everything, and stuff happens, trades happen, so you just gotta move on now.
Who's the practical joker on the team? Do we have one?
Practical joker.
Yeah, Nick, we were talking about Paul. We were talking about Paul Osemacher telling, sitting in the bullpen when you're not pitching, like from way back in the day with the Indians. And Chris was saying that he would just kind of make up stories and was just kind of a goofball while you're sitting out there. Is there anyone in that group who's kind of the goofball of the group, if you will?
I don't know. Really, I feel like we just talk. We have normal conversations. I don't think we joke around all that much in the aspect of like that. I always try to keep it light. When Cam Hill made the team last year and stuff, I made a joke with him because he's kind of serious and everything, making the big league club and stuff, so I was just trying to joke around with him and make him smile in that first inning. And I got it, and I was like, all right, we're good. He cracked a smile, like, let's go.
That's a good teammate. Loosen him up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. I know I was too tense when I first got up in the big, so kind of doing what all those guys I told you about did with me.
Hey, talk a little bit
That's
about
awesome.
that. What was it like when you're first getting in with a big league club, like the first time in the clubhouse? When did it first kind of hit you that, hey, I'm at the show?
Do you know my debut story at all? Do any of you?
No,
I don't. He's calling us out, Dave.
I don't think so. Nick, did you do
We
show
didn't do our
research for
homework.
this?
Uh-oh.
I've read a thing or two. I've read a thing or two, but I'm sure not everybody has. So
I didn't really get to experience that locker room feel until the next day. I was in New Orleans at like 12:30 and went to the field, and my manager called me in and was like, "Hey, you're actually going to Miami for the 7:00 game. So it's 1:30 their time already." So I run, pack, get on the plane. Last one on the plane, had a 25-minute layover in Atlanta. I literally ran from plane to plane because I was like all the way at the other end of the terminal, and then made it, landed, drove there. By the time I was dressed and heading and getting in the bullpen, it was the 5th inning. And I think I threw the top of the 7th, or top of the 7th. I think Conley was throwing a gem. Guys on 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. I come in, face Anthony Rendon. So I literally get there in the 5th. I'm thrown in the 7th. I have no time to process any of this, And the guys down there, I think it was Craig Breslow played a joke on me. As soon as I got down there, I said hi to everyone. I started stretching through a little. And Craig goes, "Hey, Nick, you need to call down and let them know that, you're here." I go, our clubby told me he would take care of that. And he's like, "You're going to let Silver do that?" No, you need to call down. And I was like, "Oh man, do I really need to call?" So I started walking over there, and I hear all of them freaking start laughing. And I turn around, I'm like, "Guys, I know I don't need to." And they go, no, you need to. So I pick up, and luckily Wallet's on the other line and just goes, "Yeah, we know Wittgren's there," and hangs up. So I didn't even have to say anything. I just hung up the phone. But so I go in and face Rendon, and I get him 3-2 count, throw him a high fastball, ball 4, bases loaded. Bryce Harper's coming up. I'm like, okay, let's see what I'm made of. Here we go. Go right into it. I look up, Mattingly's in my face. He's like, "Hey, nice job. You're all right. Don't worry about it." Give him the ball. I'm like, okay. I think it was 2 or 3 pitches later, Chris Narvson threw a cutter that went about 475 feet.
Oh, brutal.
Grand slam. So I was just laughing. It made for a good story. And Donnie told me that. He's like, "Hey, man, this is going to make for a heck of a story sometime." But, so I didn't really have any time to process, whole locker room, big league, any of that. The next day I came in, I was like, all right, so this is what it's like on a normal day.
Oh, that's hilarious. You were like literally Wesley Snipes in your pajamas running from the car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was booking it too. I had both my gloves hanging on my backpack too. So while I'm running, they're just flopping everywhere, hitting me and everything. Everyone's staring at me like I got a plane.
that is awesome. Nick, I had one more for you. Kind of set a scene here is you're going to be back in our locker room in Cleveland in not too long at all, literally just a few weeks. And we're at 30% capacity at Progressive Field this coming season. What are the emotions going to feel like, man? That first time you're able to run out from the bullpen and pitch for the Indians again in front of fans. How cool is that going to be for you?
It's going to be nice. I'll tell you that. I'm going to have a lot of adrenaline that day. It's just one of those things that, like last year, running out and seeing no one was kind of a little deflating, going out there for the first week. And then you just kind of, you got used to it and you had to move on. But now running out there and seeing people, and then hopefully, as the season goes on, more and more people, it's exciting. That's literally the only word I can use to describe it. It's exciting.
What's your music that you come out to?
So I come out to a song called Warrior by Jackson Gamble. My buddy from high school, Billy Van Alstyne, he actually does the music for that soundtrack. So I found it online and looked it up and loved the song. So you guys check it out. It's pretty sweet. Has a nice little drop in it, and that's when I try to take off and run.
Nice. That's a great bit. I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, well, we're greatly looking forward to seeing you out on the mound once again, out of spring ball and at the Jake or at Progressive. Appreciate the time. Anything else you want to say to Clevelanders who are out there watching?
Just looking forward to seeing you guys. really looking forward to it. So I don't know, when's our first home game? I think it's the 5th or the 4th, or 5th or 6th, something like that.
Yeah.
But either way, looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Fantastic. We appreciate the time. Great catching up, and hope to have you on again sometime soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, Nick. Take care. Go Tribe.
All right. Go Tribe.
Great stuff from Nick Wittgren. Round of applause. He's a funny dude.
Dude, if you can't root for that guy, I don't know who you can. What a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I kind of want to get him to be another podcast co-host. He's just like one of the dudes.
He really is. He really is. I love it.
Oh, that was fantastic. Go give him a follow on Twitter, Instagram. He's out there, Nick Wittgren, Cleveland Indians reliever. Big stuff coming from him this year.
We're just kind of working our way through the bullpen, aren't we?
Yeah, Karinchak. Yeah.
We're going to have everybody on the show by the end of the season. That'll be our goal.
That's right. Friend of the show.
Friend of show.
All right, let's move into some Cleveland headlines. What do you say?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Oh, and maybe give away a Joe Thomas jersey?
Probably do that too.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. All right, who is ready for a signed Joe Thomas giveaway? Every week, we are going to be giving away a signed Cleveland sports memorabilia item, courtesy of our friends at Total Sports Enterprises Cleveland. Check them out and follow the Big Play Reflog Show and them on Twitter at TSE Cleveland for your chance to win every week. Signed jerseys, helmets, personal items that you want to send in. TSE Cleveland can do it all. Stay tuned for next week's giveaway. We'll get a show tweet out there. Follow our handle and TSE Cleveland for your chance to enter and retweet that tweet. And go check them out in the meantime, tsecleveland.com. It is time to give away a Joe Thomas signed autographed jersey. And we were talking about before the show, anything signed by Joe Thomas would be an incredible get.
Yeah, this is a big prize.
This is a big prize. Huge prize.
Kick it off big, yeah. Chris and I were joking, you get a Buffalo Wild Wings napkin signed by Joe Thomas, and it would be big.
Oh, yeah. you teed him up for the audio, too. It was perfect.
I'm too slow, guys.
That's all right.
I know.
That's all right. All right, let me find
Everybody's on the edge of their seat.
I need my drum roll.
Time I have to talk about this. If you're one of the people out there that is planning a parade for 0-16, I will fight you. Come down and see me right now. I am at Buffalo Wild Wings. You're going to celebrate my misery for 4 months? I saw the guy.
Oh, there's the guy.
I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, I love it. All right, drum roll.
I should actually have a drum roll here. No?
I just played a drum roll. No, that's the one for you make a joke. That's when
I make a joke. This is
crickets. Yes, yes. All right, enough waiting around this week. The winner of the Joe Thomas autographed jersey is drumroll. Oh well, Eric on Twitter at EA216. Congratulations to Eric. Shoot a DM to the show, and we will get that sent out to you, courtesy of our friends at TSE Cleveland. Woo! I need an applause. Yeah, John. Hi, John. What's up, man? Welcome back to the comments. He had a little COVID running through the house, so hope everyone is all right. Welcome back to the show, sir. And yeah, congrats, Eric. Good stuff. All right, let's get into these headlines because Indians started off spring 5-1 versus the Reds. Today they lost 8-6. Nick Wittgren had a hell of a inning for us. Obviously early. Chris, anyone stood out so far to you in spring ball?
Can we talk about something that really grinds my gears first?
Grinds my gears. Let's hear it.
Did you notice what Twitter did yesterday?
No.
Did you see this?
No.
When they had the Indians game up,
yeah.
You know who the picture was of the Indians player that they had for the very first game?
Frankie Lindor. I did see that.
Frankie is the background.
Yeah.
Frankie is the background. Come on, Twitter. Trolling us.
Weak. That was Twitter's fault, right?
What's that?
That was Twitter's fault, correct?
That's right. Twitter's fault. Idiots. Yeah, I don't know.
Who are you excited to see, Chris?
You know who I'm excited to see.
Just say it.
Bobby Bradley, the assassin. What did he do today, Dave?
Dropped another 35 pounds.
Yes, he also did that. But he hit a monster home run. Anybody who wants to see a picture that with a graphic, Mandy Bell has tweeted this out where she has marked an X in right field where he hit this ball out to, and it is a long way out there. So Bobby Bradley continues his domination out there this spring. At least I assume it continues because he's down 35 pounds. He's hitting home runs. He's pretty much doing it all, Dave.
Yeah, and what did Tito say, Nick? He hit it like a man.
Yeah, he did, exactly. Great Tito quote. He hit that one like a man.
Heck yeah. Nick, who are you looking forward to? Or who's kind of caught your eye thus far?
I guess thus far, right? All good things said about Andreas Jimenez, the young kid that we got returned, from the Lindor deal. That's what the Indians do. They flip their blue chip pieces into just young investments and train them up and get them big league ready to go. I think he had a triple yesterday and had an awesome rally to home plate where he got somebody out. Good things to be excited for from that kid. It seems like all good things being said so far.
Clearly the Indians won the trade. Are you going to go that far?
Wow.
I'm not going that far.
For 2 yesterday. Indians won the trade.
2 games of spring ball.
Yeah, put like promo this. Did the Indians win the Lindor trade?
Oh my god.
Lindor batting 0-0-0. Andreas Jimenez.
You know it's going to be out there.
I saw Lindor like his first at bat. I don't know whether he went. He was 0 for 1. I don't know if he struck out or not, but people were already kind of on him. It's like, this is great.
I think he homered eventually.
Did he?
Yeah, he did homer because people then were doing the inverse. Like, oh, we're reporting on spring training home runs now. This is what we've swooped to. Anything to take a jab at Cleveland. Like, Twitter's such a cesspool.
Are you just now figuring this out?
Yeah, right.
No, it's been.
Oh, yeah. Do you know one guy I'm optimistic? He got a win yesterday. Brian Shaw. I'm going to go all optimistic on Brian Shaw. I feel like when he was here, I was negative, like a lot of people in Cleveland Indians Twitter land. I'm going to go positive on Brian Shaw for the foreseeable future here.
He's in our bullpen, which means he will be on our show by the end of the season.
That is correct.
The quest for the full bullpen.
Maybe we should have every guest, they have to tag the next one and get them on the show for us.
That's right. That's what we need to do is use them to get someone else.
It was funny. We were talking.
We'll give them a gift card if they can land one of their teammates.
Yeah, we were
Here's a $25 to Chili's. Here you go. Land your teammate.
We were talking before the show, and we were talking about Nick coming on, Nick Wittgren, who was just on, and he's DMing us on Instagram. Like, I think like right after he pitched today. Like, spring ball is super lax, I think. Next time we'll just DM him back and be like, okay, you have to pick the next guest for us. So we'll see how that goes.
Think Tito runs a pretty loose clubhouse there?
Yeah, I would say so. Chris, we already talked about Bobby Bradley. Anything else you want to say about Bobby Bradley before we move on?
No, I mean,
shocked.
he's down 35 pounds, so I'm a little bit concerned. I hope that's all fat and not any muscle because you got to have Bobby all burly. But, I mean, he's starting off strong, man.
You know what we could do?
What?
This is a genius
I don't want him in
idea.
Columbus, by the way. He could be right down here in Columbus. He does not need to be in Columbus this season.
Agreed.
We could do a weekly Bobby Bradley update.
We do. We already do with Chris.
But we could do it big. We could build some
Do it
sound,
big.
build some graphics, find a sponsor. McNeil's Weekly, Bobby Bradley.
The Assassin.
Get him in on it.
Just
Yeah,
a
the
good
assassin.
assassin.
Chris could whisper into the mic real creepy like
The
like
assassin.
this did.
Assassin.
I think I'm onto something here.
I think you definitely are onto something. You know who else is onto
Fast
something?
and Creed music? Is there some music? for Assassin?
Probably with a copyright. Don't play it.
Yeah, don't play it.
All right.
The Cavs are also looking pretty good. Let's talk a little Cavs here.
How about that?
3-game
about Show
win
Karma.
streak. Yeah, Angel Gray comes on.
Boom. All of a sudden, the Cavs are good.
They're winning. 3-game win streak to move all the way up to 13-21. Not too shabby. Nick, you're our resident Cavs guru. A couple weird stats. They're 10-9 against the East. They're 4-0 against the top two teams. So Philly, who they just beat, and the Nets, who Colin Sexton destroyed earlier this year. Renewed faith in this team, Nick. Is it time for a playoff push? Are we tanking for one of the good players in March Madness that we're going to be seeing here this month? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I gotta say, I find it funny. I'm a Cavs fan. I want the Cavs to win. There's no part of tanking that's fun, but it's funny that Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham, who's presumed number 1 if not number 2 pick this upcoming draft, like that's the blue chip that everybody's gonna want, especially after the March Madness hype builds up. He scores 40 points in a game and really gets his name on the map, and then the Cavs go on a huge win streak, and it's like looking like they're not the worst team in the league. So we'll see what happens. I've said on my show, I've said it in the past, I don't think you could continue to do this forever where you're playing for ping pong balls. At some point, you need to take, the 6th, 7th, 8th pick and just knock it out of the park and, get your own Donovan Mitchell, your own Rudy Gobert, the guy that could lead you to another Eastern Conference / NBA Finals that's not a number 1 overall draft pick. I think that's where the Cavs are at. I think you're year 3 into this thing, similar year 3 post LeBron the first time around, winning some games that you probably shouldn't be winning, looking good, especially good against bad teams, playing the Houston Rockets tonight, hopefully another win. I think the Cavs got to go for it, guys. I think you got to try to push your chips in the middle of the table and make a playoff run here, especially we know Andre Drummond trade is probably on the horizon. Look out for JaVale McGee.
When is that coming, by the way?
It's so hard to do. I encourage any fan that's just like, oh, why is Andre Drummond still on the team? That's just dead weight. Pull up the ESPN trade machine, man. I hate seeing those screenshots go out there.
I can do it.
Yeah, play around with it yourself. It's very difficult to do.
I got Steph Curry and didn't have to give up very much.
Wow.
Do it realistically. It's really hard to trade that contract. It's not good. So I don't know when that's going to happen. There's obviously a ton of teams interested, but how interested are they? Evidently not too much, since it hasn't happened yet.
Wow. I mean, yeah, outside of Andre Drummond, Colin Sexton, Jared Allen, super fun to watch. So I'm with you, Nick. I kind of want to see them hit. I don't want JB to go anywhere. I like JB. So I'd like to see them make this push. I think it makes sense. Colin Sexton,
Garland, too.
Garland's been coming on a little bit.
He's been looking good.
He's going to be a rising star. Those announcements come out this week, I believe March 7th. So next week when we're getting ready to do this show, I believe we'll be talking about Darius Garland making the NBA Rising Stars game.
Heck yeah.
Even though there's no game this year.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. That's all right. No one really watches that all that much. Yeah, Garland's looked awesome. Sexton looks awesome. He's got 20-plus points, 22 of 29 games this season. Chris, where would you put Colin Sexton in your list of most entertaining players to watch in the 21st century? So putting him up against people like Boobie Gibson or Delonte West or Carlos Boozer, where's he fall? He's not LeBron. Is he Kyrie status for you? Is he somewhere kind of in between them and the other players?
Let's see. It's tough to compare him to Kyrie because remember, Kyrie was coming in post LeBron, and everybody wanted the next LeBron, and he was our big hope.
Yeah,
to carry the franchise. So anything that came out of Kyrie was huge for us. And I guess this is the same kind of post LeBron again with Colin Sexton. But I think people have the understanding that he's not the guy. He's a very good player, but he's not the guy. He's not here to replace LeBron. He's part of what is a broader team. So
Right.
That's a tough comparison. I don't know. In terms of exciting players, he's fun to watch, isn't he? I mean, he really is. I'm not going to put him on the list with like Ricky Davis, going the wrong way. He's not fun to watch in the ironic way like Ricky Davis was. I mean, he's sincerely a fun player, and it's nice to see that in Cleveland.
Yeah, he hustles. He
does. He really does. So I don't know. It's nice to have a young team like this that does play. It seems like to me as a novice basketball watcher, really, that this team, when they get involved with teams like the Sixers in really a punch, where they're trading punches, they could trade punches with people. I mean, they don't play a whole lot of defense at times, but they'll go up and down the court, and being with those young legs, it's fun to watch right now. They're getting everybody involved. So that's fun. That's fun. And as long as they could be entertaining right now, I don't have huge aspirations for this team for this season, but play it out and continue to improve. And I think that they've done that.
Yeah, they have. Let's switch gears here for. Oh gosh,
here comes a hot take.
Cavs hot
about
take.
your tears. Cavs hot take about your tears with Colin.
Let's hear it.
In my lifetime, exciting players to watch in a Cavs uniform. Obviously, LeBron and Kyrie in a class of their own.
Yep.
Number 2, I got Big Z, Zdrunas Ilgauskas, fun player to watch.
Oh,
was he that fun to watch?
He was.
That mid range.
He did have that nice,
especially back then. Back then, big men didn't shoot, and like when he shot a 3 and everybody yelled Z, whether it went in. If it went in, then everybody cheered, and then if it didn't, it was just He was fun to watch, especially back then because it was just like first of his kind of.
I'll give you.
I have Colin above Kevin Love.
Oh wow!
I have Colin in that next tier.
Yeah, but I've been watching those highlights all day. The 3-1, the Cavs Game 7. And just watching his defense that he played at the end there on Steph, and I don't know.
Lockdown City.
That's seared in my head.
We haven't seen it since. It's been 5 years.
No, but he fit that team so well.
Kind of.
Oh yeah, he did. Hitting the threes, stretching the floor.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, stretching the floor for LeBron and Kyrie.
But I mean, you talk about more electric player. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm probably with you. Sexton, he's a hustler. Yeah.
And like he's taken over games for the Cavs before. Like Kevin Love has done it a few times when LeBron and Kyrie were here, and when they definitely needed that third push. But the last 3 years, it's been Colin to take over games, not as much Kevin.
Mike on Twitter says Andy Varejao, one of the most electric. That dude taking charges was one of my favorite things to watch, and I guarantee every other NBA team hated him.
And LeBron like how would get fired up.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
You could tell you're a Cavs fan because you say taking charges. Everybody else in the league is saying flopping. That's how you could tell.
Very true. Very true. All right, let's move on to some Browns. We lost. Today was a weird day on Twitter. Lost the J.J. Watt sweepstakes after tracking Peloton and whatnot. Rumors have been wild thus far in free agency. Seems like
Tristan Thompson's house is back on the market now. I thought that was in contract. Yeah, I thought that was in contract there, but apparently I was wrong.
Contingent. That's what they say in the business, Chris. Contingent.
Last guy didn't have the cash for it.
That's right.
Or the need to move to Cleveland.
Yeah. So there's a couple other guys out there. Free agency, Mary Kay, Chris, one of your good friends. Brashad Perryman, old Browns player, wide receivers out there. You've got Super Bowl champ linebacker Levante David. Nick, any of these guys outside of J.J. Watt that you want to land that makes sense for this team?
Yeah, I think both of the guys that Mary Kay named are both realistic and, players that the Browns will and should be after. Offensively, the only thing that's missing, and we've said this on this show ever since the season ended, offensively, you're pretty much set. Like, you might as well just run it back with the same group. There's one thing that's missing, and that's kind of the guy that could just take the total top off of a defense with some speed, and that's Rashad Perriman. That's what he did with Baker all of 2018, and obviously he got paid and went elsewhere. And just like the beginning of his career, it didn't work out. So I'd like to see if the Browns could get him. Would I do it at the cost of losing Rashad Higgins? I wouldn't do that. I think that needs to be the number one thing that happens in 17 days when the league year opens, is the Browns need to get Hollywood Higgins under contract. Levante David's good. I'm almost operating under the philosophy of, if they have a pulse and if they play defense, take a jab at it. Some of the defensive line candidates, now that we're out of the J.J. Watt sweepstakes, I'd look to see what Bud Dupree's price tag is. We know him very well because he tormented us when he was with the Steelers. Coming off an ACL tear, maybe he takes, a 1-2 year deal, kind of bets on himself in Cleveland before he goes somewhere else and gets a big payday. Carl Lawson is another name from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Our buddy Pizza Guy in the comments was asking about him. If he's available, I think that'd be a great fit.
Yeah, come on. When do you see 25-year-old pass rushers that are above average hit the open market? It's never. Teams do anything in their power to get that under contract. So, yeah, I would definitely give Carl Lawson a look, and that's where I'm at with Browns free agency. I think they're doing all the right things so far, guys. They proved that they were able to compete with the big boys for J.J. Watt, and I don't see why they're going to stop there.
Yeah, we've got, about $25 million, I believe, in cap space before we got to start paying some of these big names, and hopefully Baker Mayfield as well. Barry was kind of big on one-year deals, defensive players last year. You think that's going to be a trend? You think we're going to go, the Malcolm Smith route, bring him back, or a player kind of like in that caliber?
That's a good question. I was thinking about this myself earlier. I think it's likely, really, because you look at some of the free agents that are out there, especially in the secondary. To me, there's only two guys that are guaranteed to return as starters in the secondary. That's Denzel Ward and Ronnie Harrison. So your starting corner and your starting.
By the way, what a trade for Ronnie Harrison.
Yeah, what a trade. Exactly.
It was incredible.
At the buzzer, might I add.
Yeah.
Like right before the season started. Incredible trade to make there, but those are your two bona fide starters. But if you look at the free
you saying Greedy's gone?
I mean,
I don't think you can count on him.
He's definitely not gone, but exactly, you can't count on him to be able to start.
No, he's never really been here.
Yeah, exactly. And I do feel awful for him because, like, just as a person,
I mean, he's legit injured.
Yeah, the knack on you is that you can't tackle, and you try learning how to tackle in training camp, which is the time to do that, and you have a devastating nerve damage injury, and you're begging to get back onto the field to play in a playoff game, and it can't happen. Yeah. I think Barry does, to answer your question, mess around with those 1-2 year deals again, just to get some more veterans in here. Richard Sherman was the name that was thrown out, right as the season ended. He's probably the best option. And if Richard Sherman is your best option, you're not going to see the Browns spend huge money in free agency in that area just because there's not a whole lot there.
I agree. Oh, is it time?
Baseball card time.
Yes.
How about that?
Play it again.
Ready? All right, Dave. Do you want the cards in my right hand or in my left hand?
I'm like 0 for 3 now. I'm going to go your first instinct was your left, so I'm going to go your left.
Okay. We're getting to the last of the Score 1990 Major League Baseball cards.
Thank God.
I'm going to be changing it up. But man, this shoe has been good for me.
Next week we'll be doing this.
Dealer leave.
Next week we'll be doing this with NBA Top Shot.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, there you go. We still haven't had that discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you've got Chuck Grimm. Not starting up well. Kevin McReynolds of the Mets. Jack Clark of the Padres. Andy McGaffigan.
These are made-up players.
Steve Balboni. Like, I cannot make up. Oh, here you go. New York Mets pitcher Doc Gooden.
All right, now we're back on track.
There's one. Hey, first-round pick, Tyler Houston. Bob Melvin. There you go. Charlie who? How?
These are bad.
Hey, pitcher for the Indians, Scott Bales.
I don't remember him.
Nope. Robbie Thompson. Mel Hall. I remember Mel Hall. Don Ace. John Pawlowski. Pat Combs. I remember Pat Combs. And look at this from the Rangers. Man, he looks really young here. This is like his rookie card. Juan Gonzalez.
Oh, that is a good pull.
Pairing him with Doc Gooden, I assume?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's actually not bad, Nick. You should know both those
That's
players.
not bad. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I open up my pack from the Padres. Roberto Alomar. He was a second baseman.
He's all right. He spit on someone, Chris, or Nick. Just remember that.
Steve Buscemi. Nothing there. Hey, Edgar Martinez.
Oh, my God.
Pretty solid.
Yo, Mickey Mantle.
Yeah. Actually, Tony Gwynn. But this is a dream team card. I'm not going to count
That doesn't
one.
count.
Yeah, I'm not going to count that.
Man, was I off again.
Bill Landrum, Keith Moreland, Daryl Boston. Ooh, Gonzalez. Renee Gonzalez.
Renee?
There you go. Tony Pena.
Oh, I love Tony Pena.
Do you remember who he was the personal catcher of?
Jose.
Dennis Martinez.
Oh, I thought it was Jose Mesa. No?
No, Dennis Martinez.
Shoot. I met
Willie
Tony
McGee,
Pena once.
Bill Kruger, Greg Walker, Blaine Batty. Oh, I'm in trouble, I think, this week. Mike Rosler and Dave Island.
You started off hot.
Oof. So I'm going Edgar Martinez and Roberto Alomar versus Doc Gooden and Juan Gonzalez.
Oof.
Nick, who you got? Does Dave get a win this week?
This is the closest that it's been in a while.
I agree.
But Dave at the buzzer coming through with Juan Gonzalez pushes it over that.
Yes.
Yeah, this is actually his rookie card. It does say rookie card.
Yeah,
Nope,
that's
not the rookie.
That's a good,
that adds
that's a
value
good
to it,
card.
Do you remember how awesome he was for the Indians?
No.
No. Remember he like tore his ACL like on the very first pitch and
Probably
that was
like
pretty much
coughing. Yeah. It was that
Yeah,
era.
Andrew Bogut.
it. Yes, exactly.
So
It
Nick,
was
are
very
we
much
doing digital cards next time? What is this? You've been wanting to talk about this. You've been sending us messages about these digital cards. Chris and I are old. We don't understand what you're talking about. What is this?
So, like, you guys know what Bitcoin is, right?
Yes.
So
You guys know what the internet is, right?
yeah. You put www dot at the beginning of things when you're about to
Nick,
look it up.
World Wide Web.
Nick, do you know what
No.
DOS is?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I knew he wouldn't
Don't
know
know
what that
MS Dot? Oh,
No, I don't know what that is.
there we go.
Oh, I
Is
love
that
it.
on the internet?
It was.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
Maybe it still is. All right, so this NBA Top Shot, it's literally what you guys just did, except it's virtual. And instead of like, instead of like pictures, like the Juan Gonzalez rookie card, it was just a still image of him. You could buy and own like moments. So, for example, I own a Darius Garland layup moment.
Wow,
That sounds
that'll send
so.
your
That
kids to
sounds so
college someday.
stupid.
But you could sell these, so it's like a form of
Okay.
like cryptocurrency where you could there's a marketplace where you could buy and sell them, and like anything in the market, like the prices of these players fluctuate based on like performance, like how things are going, and it's not even all like the best players are worth the most. Like Mo Bamba, who plays for the Magic and like comes off the bench, he has a song about him, so he's worth more. He's not that good, but he carries some name in like the NBA community, so he's worth more.
I have no interest in this. Do you, Chris? Any interest in this?
Well, yeah, if I can get my hands on like a wrong way Ricky, get that one. How great would that be?
We need to have him on the podcast.
Yeah, that would be good. Or
Ricky Dave.
I'm sure the NBA wouldn't sanction this, but buy a card for the Malice at the Palace. I mean, that's a collector's item right there.
It's all like within the last 2 years, and it's like it's only highlights. Like they're very specific of what's out there.
Is it only NBA right now?
Yeah, it's only NBA, but
Okay.
like there's already all kinds of speculation that like the NFL is going to get into it like by next season, just because so many people are into it. Literally over the last 3 weeks, like the league is making millions of dollars on a thing that they're not even advertising yet. And like the players are slowly starting to get into it. Like the biggest player to tweet about it yet is LaMelo Ball. Like the rest is just like Josh Hart is kind of into it and tweeting about it, and like
Huh.
the players own cards of like their teammates or of other players. It could be like the next tampering. Who's the first player to get fined for tampering on Top Shot?
Could you
LeBron?
imagine
Wow.
that LeBron block on Iguodala?
Oof.
I mean,
Is that one out there?
No, it's
No.
it's all within the last 2 years.
Oh,
so
it's
like
all-
the
okay.
earliest
the
you can
Kyrie
get it.
shot.
Now, do you actually, Nick, do you actually like physically own them? Like on your computer?
Yeah, so they don't send you anything, but they send you buy the blockchain for it. So you're virtually
Okay.
buying the serial number. So for Darius Garland, there's like 15,000 of these videos, the same exact video for people to buy, but you own different serial numbers of it. So people, the higher the serial number, I've learned also the better. Like if Darius wears number 10, if you own the number 10 serial number of 15,000, you could make a couple thousand off that moment just because it's worth more. That part of
Crazy.
it's weird to me.
It's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah. 2021, man.
What's your next investment? Is it which layup are you going after next?
Yeah, so I have Darius Garland layup. I have Dylan Brooks layup. Those have both gone up in price since I bought them over the weekend. So I'm on a little bit of a hot streak. I'm holding on to them. I'm not putting them back on the marketplace and selling
Those
them
are
quite
blue
yet.
chippers.
They're
Obviously.
They're not. And that's the thing. They're not. Somebody, the like record on this, and here I'll do a little plug too. Shamelessly, Padone My Take, Wednesdays at 8. We're having someone that purchased a $50,000 LeBron dunk on
What?
show. Yeah. Owner of a fan control football league team, as well as like some
Really?
other small.
Is it Johnny
companies bought
Manziel's team?
No, it's not John. He owns the Wild Aces. Jack Settleman is his name, and he bought a $50,000 LeBron dunk a few weeks back.
By the way, where is that league? Is that just like streaming or is it on cable? I haven't seen it.
I've just seen highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, that's all I've seen as well.
Chris, it's like what's the NFL show you love that's only streaming now?
Prime time.
Oh,
Prime time, yes.
With Chris Berman.
Yeah, man. So next investments, who knows? Maybe somebody that's about to get traded. Maybe I've thought about JaVale McGee. That's kind of gone back and forth in my head. But at the end of the day, he's still JaVale McGee. Like, you know exactly what you're getting there. I think my thing is going to be targeting the younger players, the rookies. Okoro's going for a ton.
Really?
The cheapest Okoro you could get is probably like $450 the last time I checked.
I don't understand this. We're gonna have to talk
I'm going
about
to get a
it.
Colin Sexton buy hold because I don't want to pay any taxes on short-term gains on the Colin Sexton, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Put my kids right through college on that bad boy.
All right,
Trust
let's
me, disclaimer for everybody out there. I
Yeah.
have not made enough money to have to pay taxes on anything yet. So
Good
don't go into this thinking that you're going to walk out a millionaire overnight.
We're going to turn this show into like Jim Cramer's Mad Money here after a while with these things.
I've
Yeah,
got
like
to
Dave-
buy on Darius Garland layups.
Dave
We're gonna start
Ramsey.
wearing a white shirt with a tie and walking around the studio just slamming things around.
You guys ever see the Dave Ramsey show?
No.
He's like one of those investor people, and he has people call in and like they'll explain to him like their financial troubles. Like I'm in,
That's where I've heard it. Okay, yeah.
like I'm in like $100,000 debt. Like this is my job. This is how I got in this situation. What do you recommend? And he's like he gets like pissed at these people. He's like $100,000 in debt. He'll like take his headphones off. He's like, that's just unacceptable. He's like, you shouldn't be in a restaurant unless you're working in the restaurant. I don't want to see you at the park unless you're sweeping up the park. And he gets really mad at these people. That's what we're going to do now.
That's right.
There you go. Next digital card trading segment. It's gonna blow up.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Let's do best worst tweets and get out of here. All right, best tweet of the week. I am going with Chris Fedor out there. He said, I'm not a photographer, but there were a few of these moments tonight with the Cavs. Matthew Dellavedova mentoring the young guys. We talked about it with Angel Gray. Having Delly back with that team mentoring these guys. There's the picture up here. 3 wins with Matthew Dellavedova back. Fantastic stuff. Nice picture, Chris.
Cavs rolling into the half right now. They are down by 1 point, it looks like, with about 34 seconds left. And now they're up 51-50. 16 seconons left.
Let's go. Okay. Love it. Chris, what was the worst tweet of the week?
You know, I am almost don't want to give this one away because, you know, it's a Colin Cowherd. And, of course, he's just totally trolling everybody for ratings. But he basically said people in Cleveland don't matter enough to get some of these high-prized free agents out there. So I don't know. It's just typical Colin, just always trolling us. But that will get your worst tweet of the week, Colin Cowherd.
Love it. All right, Nick, take us out of here. Let's call it a night and go watch those Cavs.
Yeah, definitely.
He says, Pizza Guy says it's the Colin Sexton versus John Wall show right now.
Perfect. And we're going to get you guys out of here to see the rest of that. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. What an awesome show. Huge congrats to our winner of the Joe Thomas autographed jersey. Be sure to follow TSC on Twitter at TSC Cleveland. Give us that follow too at Big Play Reflog. We're giving away another signed Cleveland item next week. You don't want to miss that. Huge thanks as always, Shaq News, shacknews.com. Go check them out. All your video game content, streams, and more. Nick Wittgren, awesome interview. If you missed it for whatever reason, it'll be up on Apple Pods and Spotify. This is the Big Play Reflog show. We'll see you next Monday.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut that by Chubb.